Hello, Trinity. This is our Take 5 series, and this is my first take at Take 5, though technically not my first take. I did one, and it was more like a Take 7. So I'm starting a timer to make sure I honor this Take 5 rule and abide by the time constraints that are set before us. So Advent is here. We're going through this Advent series in Take 5 and talking about the different titles that are given to the Messiah in the book of Isaiah. And this week we're looking at this title, Everlasting Father, which seems to be such a unique title for attributing to the Messiah. We think of Father and we think of the first person of the Trinity, our Heavenly Father, as said in by Jesus in the Lord's Prayer when he said, "Our Father, hallowed be thy name." We never think of Father being applied to Jesus. So what's going on here? This doesn't seem to really make sense. And I began to look into it and try to understand, how should we understand this title as being applied to Jesus? And really what's going on in this whole section is what would be called like a royal decree of some kind, where a child is born to a king. And so there's like this announcement of this royal birth. And when they do this, they would kind of celebrate and they would herald all of the things that they anticipate this child's future reign bringing about. And so that's what they're doing in this royal decree. And so when they talk about this Messiah, this king who will come to reign, and that he will be the everlasting Father, they're talking about the attributes and characteristics of what his reign will be like. And they're saying that his reign will be one that will be everlasting. He will be like the bringer in of that which is everlasting. And Job actually uses similar language in his writing when he is speaking and he's kind of lamenting all of the terrible things that are happening in his life. And he says in Job 17:14, again, he's sick. It seems like he's on his deathbed. And it just seems like death is his friend. Death is his neighbor. Death is what is eminent in his story. And he says, if I say to the pit's like the grave. If I say to the pit, you are my father, and to the worm was the idea of you're in the ground and worms kind of eat your body. And if I say to the worm, my mother, I mean, he's not thinking that worms actually possess some kind of motherly attribute, or that the grave is actually a father. He's using this title of father and mother as the ones who bring things into existence or bring things into being and kind of have almost an ownership over them. And so when this title is given to this Messiah as one who is everlasting Father, it's talking about a king who's going to reign in such a way that it's like he is the one who is the possessor or the one who brings forth everlasting. And so what I want us to think about over the next few days as we think about and unpack this title and apply it to our life is, in what ways is it good news that the Messiah who has come is one who brings forth everlasting, who brings forth eternity. I mean, eternity is such a hard concept, I think, for us to kind of wrap our minds around, right? Everything we have in life is so temporal and so bound by time and by our physical world. And sometimes I think when we think about things of God that are so big and kind of seem beyond us, we can just kind of say, oh, it's a mystery, and let's not think about it. And I just want to encourage us, even though it's maybe a concept beyond what we can really grasp and completely get our minds around, that we still be willing to take some time and think through what the significance is of the fact that this one who is our bringer of peace, our Prince of Peace, that he is our everlasting Father, that he brings us into life everlasting. So we're going to talk about that over the next couple of days. In what ways is this everlasting nature of our Messiah good news? See you next time.